We need Cam to produce. We need Cam to bring that defensive energy. She's got to get out on the floor with some confidence and do what she's capable of doing. We're going to need Cam. She's going to be a big part of our success. Have every bit of belief in her.
That's not exactly the message that a supposed star player wants to hear from their head coach after the first game of the season. And I use the term star player very, very loosely here. A more appropriate description for Cameron Brink would be wannabe runway model who, for reasons unknown, is disguising herself as a pretend basketball player in the WNBA. Let me go ahead and translate what head coach... Hell, I don't know the name of the LA Sparkles head coach. To their credit, the WNBA did make sure to include name tags in front of everyone, which is required at WNBA press conferences since 99% of the players and coaches in this league have anonymous faces to go along with their unknown names. The WNBA did include her name tag. Uncle KC just didn't care enough to read it. But I did listen to her words, so I'll go ahead and translate what the LA Sparkles head coach said to English. Cam Brink sucks. I mean, she sucks. In a league filled with players who aren't capable of making layups, Cameron Brink might be one of the worst players in this league. Over the all-season, Cam Brink was driving the Brinks truck to the houses of her colleagues in the WNBA, with most of the houses obviously being on wheels. Cam Brink spent her all-season delivering millions of dollars to her colleagues. Caitlin Clark, for example. She went from making minimum wage to making over $500,000 a year. Angel Reese, the matriarch of Me Bounds, one of the many players in this league who is allergic to scoring points. Angel Reese went from minimum wage to over $350,000. Yet, for some reason, Cameron Brink is one of the lowest paid players in the league with a salary of $84,000. If I had to guess, there are some of you guys in this audience making more money than Cam Brink. Soon, there will be homeless people out earning the Brinkster because if she doesn't get her shit together, Cam Brink is going to be fired. The question is, how in the hell did we get here? According to Cam Brink, she is a direct beneficiary of something called white privilege. Apparently, doctors at Woke Memorial Hospital in Princeton, New Jersey blessed Cam Brink with this mythical privilege at birth. After watching this young woman attempt to play basketball, my question is, where in the hell is it? Is her white privilege broken? Is it malfunctioning? Is it under repair? If this is what white privilege looks like, I don't want it. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Earlier today on the second channel, talked about courageous mothers and daughters in the People's Republic of California protesting a young identifier who is dominating women's sports. Last year, Gavin Newsom claimed that men competing in women's sports is unfair. Now, he's being pressured to do something about it. I give you all the details, so if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. 2 years ago, Cameron Brink was the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft. The only player drafted ahead of Cam was the original Great White Hope, Caitlin Clark. Trust me, no one is referring to Cameron Brink as the Great White Hope. Hell, at this point, the dozens of fans of the LA Sparkles, they're just hoping Cam Brink will go away. In most cases, when you're picked at the top of the draft, when you're a top 5, top 10 pick, teams are selecting you based on your talent alone. Or in the case of Caitlin Clark, her talent and her mainstream drawing power. To me, there are two types of top draft picks: those who get to the league and coast, those who get to the league thinking, I've made it, now I'm a huge star. And those who have the maturity to know that the real work is just beginning. The other day, I was talking to my pool guy. He was asking about the vacation that my wife and mother made me take last month that was way too long. He was asking about the channel and whether it was negatively affected by my vacation, which thankfully it wasn't. While we were talking, he said, it must be nice to be established enough that you can take it easy whenever you want to. You work when you want, you take off work when you want. Meanwhile, I'm out here during the summer sweating my ass off. I told him that's not the way I look at it. I don't view myself as being established. Matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. I wake up every morning thinking this day could be my last. I wake up every morning thinking if I don't give 100% today, I won't have an audience tomorrow. There was a hell of a lot less pressure when YouTube was a hobby. There was less pressure when I was just starting out. The work I did to get here, that was simply laying the foundation for the real work I have to do to maintain it. I don't get to coast because I have an audience. I have to bust my ass every day to keep that audience. The mentality is similar in professional sports, or any profession for that matter. A lot of times, the only thing that separates the top from the bottom is discipline. Unfortunately for Cam Brink, not only does she seem to lack discipline, she doesn't seem to have a passion for the game of basketball. Uncle Casey, how do you know that? You don't know Cameron Brink personally? Check this out. Yesterday, Cam Brink was asked to name her all-time starting five in the NBA. Listen to her response. Watch for yourself.
Steph Curry, Seth Curry, Damian Lee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Del Curry.
Who and who? Normally, when I'm asking who, I'm questioning the names and identities of WNBA players. I was willing to give Cam Brink the benefit of the doubt, putting Del Curry in the center position, even though he was a wing player. But who were those other two names? Abdul-Jabbar? Abdul. Damian Lee? Who in the Rudy Poo is Damian Lee? I have been watching the NBA for over 30 years. Now, to be fair, there are plenty of NBA players, mostly role players, that I've forgotten, but I have never heard of Damian Lee. I know for damn sure that Cam Brink, who doesn't seem to know a damn thing about basketball, I know there is absolutely no way she knows of an NBA player that I don't. So, how does she have a connection with Damian Lee? There is a reason that 4 of her all-time starting 5 in the NBA have a direct relation to the Curry family. Damian Lee is the husband of Sadell Curry, the sister of Steph and Seth Curry. And Sadell Curry, she used to have a podcast with Cameron Brink, which no longer exists because no one was listening. Yesterday, for the second game in a row, Cameron Brink scored 0 points. 8 minutes. She had 3 fouls and 3 turnovers. Let me show you why she was benched. Now, in college, Cameron Brink was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. If you know anything about basketball, you know that defense is all about effort, instinct. Most of your great defenders, they're great because they actually care to play defense. Take a look at this effort, or the complete lack thereof, from the LA Sparkle's supposed biggest star. Also, make sure to pay attention to all the empty seats in the background. Remember yesterday how WNBA players were talking about all these supposed sellouts across the league? As you're about to see, they couldn't give away free tickets to see this garbage in Los Angeles yesterday. Check it out for yourself. Last season, Cameron Brink started a grand total of 0 games. Now keep in mind, Cam Brink is supposedly the beneficiary of white privilege, yet somehow she did not start a single game and she averaged just 12 minutes a game. This is the number 2 pick in the draft, and she doesn't touch the court due to coach's decision. While all of her colleagues were getting paid this offseason, Cameron Brink continues to make minimum wage. Uncle Casey, she doesn't care. Cam Brink has brand deals. That is exactly my point. She doesn't care. I know I joke around a lot about the WNBA, especially the level of skill or the lack of skill in this league. But all kidding aside, there is a massive difference between the WNBA and women's college basketball. Zion Williamson was dominant at Duke when he only had to play 2 games every week. Now, Zion is dominant in the NBA in the rare instance that he's actually on the court, but Zion Williamson can't make the playoffs because he can't withstand an 82-game season. And the reason he can't withstand it is because he can't stay healthy. And he can't stay healthy because Zion doesn't put in the work. Cameron Brink was dominant in college while playing against players who are now going door-to-door selling Maybelline. But once you reach the professional level, your weaknesses get exposed. And if your weakness is your work ethic, it gets exposed quickly. The reason I showed you Cameron Brink and her all-time starting 5 in the NBA, it shows she does not have love for the game of basketball. And to be great at this level, hell, to be great in any profession, you have got to love what you're doing. If you don't, I don't care how much talent you have. I don't care how naturally gifted you are. If you don't love what you're doing, you will be exposed. And it is abundantly clear at this point, Cam Brink does not love basketball. She would rather be a fashion model. She would rather show off her abs on TikTok than figure out how to make a layup. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.